made it to Alabama.
We stopped here because our friends are also here in the area, so we had to stop and see them too.
So yeah, while we're in Alabama, we're gonna go on the hunt for a rare creature.
What might that be?
We'll have to see if we find it. I don't want to give it away. Made it to Alabama.
That's right. We made it to the Decatur area, and we stopped here because our friends Michael and Shelly with Our Epic RV Adventure are also here in the area, so we had to stop and see them too.
Sorry about that. Michael, Shelly, and Talon.
Yes, we got to meet the infamous Talon. She's a sweet pooch. Yeah, and she and Bernie seem to get along too.
Yep, so far we've had a good time, just hanging out, taking it easy. Shared a meal together, and today we're off on an adventure.
Yes, we are going to check out the Space Museum in Huntsville. That's about 30 minutes away. All right, we've hit the road, so let's go check it out. How big is Uranus? That's very offensive. Uranus is next to the space waste.
Kennedy Space Center.
Press the button. Oh.
We're gonna burn alive.
Let's see what happens. No, there it goes.
Whoa!
All systems are go. We are about to witness history in the making.
On 2, 1, ignition.
I love all of the avocado green decor inside. But when you think about how they had to quarantine all of those astronauts when they first came back from the moon, and they shoved them all in this Airstream, that kitchen was so tiny for all of them to cook in. I mean, that refrigerator, come on. It's just crazy. We just finished up our time at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. It was pretty interesting. The big area where you get to see
Saturn rocket.
Yes, that was pretty amazing. Tons of information. They even still had like some interactive stuff to do for the kids. Of course, not everything was open because, you know, COVID.
Yeah, I like these sort of museums. I was talking to Michael a little bit, and it's kind of like you walk in, you get the awe of the giant rocket. Then after a while, you're like, more rocket stuff. More rocket stuff. Kind of like these. There's a museum close to us in Omaha, Nebraska, the SAC Air and Space Museum, and I'm like, you know, it's probably really, really cool for little kids to see all the planes and go and stuff. And it's probably really, really cool for like the vets or people that flew on the plane or were in service during the time that these planes were also in service. But otherwise, it's just a bunch of rockets.
Rocket science.
Stuff. So if that's your bag, this place is for you.
Well, I think it was interesting, like the timeline of everything, because they basically start talking about the timeline, you know, the race to space. I think it was, what I found interesting was that Huntsville, Alabama is picked out of, you know, everywhere across the U.S. for this missile development. And it was interesting to learn that really America's race to space started in World War II in 1941. And they picked Huntsville, Alabama to start their munitions factory. And then it just kind of grew into what it is today. So I just found that really interesting, that of all the places they could choose, this was the spot. But after you explored this really big, you know, display, you go outside and then, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to see. They had their rocket garden, and they had some other, like some choppers and some airplanes and stuff like that outside. But it almost seemed like an afterthought at that point.
Yeah, that's why I kind of joked that it was kind of a junkyard. They just threw other stuff out there. The bonus, now it is $25 per adult, but the bonus is we have our Boone Shaft Museum with the reciprocity. So that we only had to pay for one adult, because I got an adult and 2 children in, I believe is what it was. So
with the reciprocity, it was definitely worth the money. I think if we would have paid full price, knowing that some of the displays weren't open, heck, some of the buildings weren't even open, I don't know that it would have been worth the money.
I thought the museum was a great museum. I learned that USA was not actually the first people to send an animal to the space. It was actually Russia. They sent a dog, but then the dog died like a week into it. No, 4 hours
sus.
Something I found interesting was that one of the lead scientists that helped with these rockets was actually someone that surrendered in Nazi Germany, and then he came over and worked for the U.S. to get some rockets into space.
Right on.
So, if you're in the Huntsville, Alabama area and you're into rockets and space exploration, we definitely recommend it, especially if you have one of those reciprocity memberships.
Oh yeah. And as a bonus, we've just had a blast, pun intended, hanging out with Michael and Shelly of our Epic RV Adventure.
Don't forget Talon.
You know, it's always fun to go out and go exploring and have friends in tow. And we've just been enjoying chit-chatting and sharing meals together and just developing our friendship. So that makes our visit extra special as well.
So if you're ever near our Epic RV Adventure, go knock on their door. They love surprise visits. So yeah, while we're in Alabama, we're gonna go on the hunt for a rare creature.
What might that be?
We'll have to see if we find it. I don't want to give it away.
So join us on the road as we head to our next adventure. Don't be shy, Bella. Hey, Gary.
How are you?
Well, did you see that? Did you see that mystery person? None other than Gary and Tammy with Daydream About Nice Things.
Yeah, and they are just the sweetest people. You know, you don't get to see Tammy very often. Gary is the highlight of the show, but she's such a sweet person, and it was just fantastic to meet them.
Yep, and as you saw, Gary got a surprise call while we were there. Somebody was sitting in his driveway, and not too long after that, KT and BJ from Slow Momentum pulled right up.
Yeah. So it was a bonus. We got to meet 2 different channels.
We are so social. So yeah, we drove all the way over towards Gary and then back and had a wonderful dinner with Michael and Shelly. This morning, we had found out that
Sister Freebird lives in the Huntsville, Alabama area. So we had to make a stop just to say hey. So it was donuts and coffee today.
Yep.
We found this beautiful park behind us, grabbed our sweet treats and our beverages, and just got together and chit-chatted. And it was so lovely. She's so sweet. Her husband is so sweet. Yeah, it's great to meet folks.
now we're pretty much packed up and ready to roll, and today we're heading for Memphis. Home of Elvis.
Baby.
Thank you very much.
Baby.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
That's all I got.
But you know, this whole entire trip has been phenomenal. We have had every single stop along the way, we have had someone to connect with or someone to meet up with. And the way we travel, because we're stationary for 3 months at a time, it's kind of feast and famine. So when we're parked, it's famine. And then when we get out and about and just connect with other people, man, we just feel like little social butterflies. We're just meeting up with everybody.
It's a tad exhausting. So yeah, this is the most social we have been in a very long time. And we've enjoyed it.
It's been a blessing, but I think when we hit Memphis, we're just gonna put our feet up and just chill and relax for a bit as we continue on the rest of our journey. All right, let's go.
That sounds rude.
That does
It'll be
sound
nice to not see anyone.
No.
Garbage
Like
man, garbage man,
Yeah.
garbage man, garbage man. So, thank you very much.
Let's hit the road, baby.
Viva Los Memphis. light big city gonna set my soul.
Look at you.